Well, hey everyone, it's been a while since I did a straight up RavensFilm update for you guys, and I feel like after we spent October really getting back into the groove of producing regular content and trying to find my rhythm and everything, things are a nice little kind of lull in a certain way. Not so much, but it's kind of like into the next phase of what I'm going to try and do here with the channel and all the new content I'm intending to put out. I figured I'd give you guys a few minutes here to really kind of promote what's coming up, what's already out there, and all this type of stuff. I'm really going to give you some of the usual vlog stuff and everything, which is quite a bit to get through. But first up, Sunday, I posted up my Doctor Strange review. I saw the film Friday night, worked on Saturday, so I didn't get a lot of time to edit it until Sunday, so it was a little later than I'd like it to be, but it eventually did come out. If you guys very much want to get my opinion on Marvel's newest blockbuster hit, definitely hit up the review, which is entirely spoiler-free, because that's what I do for all the newly released films. My reviews are completely spoiler-free, so anyone who wants to, they can click on it, not get spoiled for it. If you've not seen the film yet, for whatever reason, you can still watch the review, not get anything spoiled, and get a good, solid idea of how I felt so much about this new film. Another thing that hit on Sunday, but has not hit your subscriber feeds because it is the first Patreon exclusive piece of content, because my friend Steve Frazier and I sat down and did the very first forever cinematic commentary on Wes Craven's A Nightmare on Elm Street, and that hit on Sunday on Patreon for a good 3-day exclusive preview. So if you guys want to get this commentary, which we had so much genuine fun doing this, because Steve is a fantastic guy, so much charisma, and he knows so much about Nightmare on Elm Street, being one, possibly you can get a lot more of it, but he ranks it extremely high on his list of films that he loves, and he did so much of a great job with me, working so well. We had no dead spots in the whole thing. I had a great time doing it with Steve. We have a lot of other titles that we discussed that we really want to do coming up. We just threw out a bunch of stuff, and just like we can definitely, as long as our schedules work out in a fairly good way, keep doing this about every other week or so and just get some really good content. So if you guys want to check this out, because I really would appreciate it, Steve would appreciate it if you guys really showed the attention and appreciation for it. If you want to contribute anything to the Patreon campaign, of course, get exclusives, get incentives, getting stuff days ahead of time before it goes public on YouTube for your contributions. I definitely appreciate if you did invest that kind of interest, but still, when it goes live on Wednesday, which is actually the anniversary date of the film's 1984 release date, you'll be able to watch it perfectly fine. I will definitely appreciate all the views, the comments, the discussion you put up, any of the likes, the shares, anything you do once it goes live on YouTube. We would definitely appreciate getting your feedback about how well you like what we have to present in this commentary. But if you are contributing through Patreon, you'll also be able to get access to a database with all the audio files. Instead of just watching it only on YouTube, you'll be able to download it as a MPEG-4 audio file to throw it up on your iPhone, your iPod, your Android, whatever it is that's your mobile device. You can listen to podcasts and music and stuff like that on. You can just upload it there, listen to it on the go, listen to it however you want to. So that's an extra incentive perk for you guys if you do want to contribute something to that. And plus, you'll also, obviously now that that's begun, you'll start getting other things that are exclusive once you start contributing. But there'll never be a shortage of stuff for anyone who just wants to enjoy the videos without that contribution. They'll always be getting all the same general YouTube content here on the channel here. And I wanted to just kind of lay back a little bit and kind of run you through a stack of Blu-rays I've picked up in recent times, because some of the stuff I have not talked about, and it's kind of nice to go through this stuff because we ended up doing the Elm Street commentary. Is like I hadn't had it on DVD. I had the old box set from like the late '90s. I even got the Infinifilm DVD they put out in like 2004 or whatnot, which I did go see theatrical re-release at that time for the film. But I felt like if we're going to do this thing, I really wanted to grab a hold of the Blu-ray set. So I found it. It was not listed on the Best Buy site as being at the location that's nearest by, but I ran in there Friday morning. They did have it, and we were able to enjoy the film in HD for you guys to make sure we got the best quality to enjoy the film and give the most insight, to really have the best experience for us and have that translate out to the rest of you guys. So this will definitely come in handy, because even Steve said be fine doing a whole series of the Elm Street films and everything. So I would definitely be up for that, as long as you guys are too. So we'd definitely be fine going through until either we get sick of them, you guys get sick of them, or whatever the case. We'll definitely hopefully get through a couple of the sequels of Elm Street, but it's nice getting this, and I'll have to figure out what I want to do with my old DVDs or whatnot, but it's a nice pickup and everything. Looked really good, really solid transfer and everything on the first film. I think it looked very naturalistic. There was still a nice bit of film grain and everything, a nice transfer and everything. Blu-ray.com has a very good marks for this transfer and everything for this whole set, really, so good stuff. And some extra features and whatnot that you haven't had before. But also, because I certainly enjoyed it so much at the theater, saw it 3 times, Star Trek Beyond, I grabbed the there were a couple of retailer exclusives, as you kind of figure, and I was kind of thinking about getting the Best Buy Steelbook, but once they showed that because the original pictures of the whole thing had a little bit more elaborate artwork on the interior, ultimately they went with just a kind of bland Starfield, so I figured for a few extra bucks I could get the one from Target, which has an extra bonus disc of extra content, but for a reason, all the content that's on the main disc, they also put it on the Target bonus disc along with a bunch of other features, so that seemed bizarre and redundant. I don't know why they'd do that. But it also comes with these sort of nice collector cards where you can slip them into the sleeve here and just kind of feature different characters from the film, so I think that's kind of nice. I mean, it gives you a little something for display purposes or whatnot, and just kind of gives you another kind of a bit of flair for everything. But the standard cover on the slipcase and everything in here on the keep case is the same one you see anywhere else. And of course it comes with a DVD, of course, and then Ultraviolet HD, which hopefully should be able to get me the via iTunes and everything, the commentary track that is only exclusive to the iTunes release, which Digital Bitch was really kind of bent out of shape about, because apparently there was a couple years ago, after a lot of various features spread across various retailer exclusive editions of Star Trek Into Darkness, they kind of invite a lot of people from that community, the Blu-ray home video community, to kind of come in and pitch some ideas and kind of get an idea of how to improve the product and everything. Because eventually, I guess, like, there's a Star Trek Compendium release that has everything from all these versions that came out like a year or so after those came out. So they kind of really trying to retroactively please the fans in that type of way. It's like they throw it all in one pot and be able to get everything in one shot, instead of having to buy like 4 different versions from different retailers to get every little piece of video content and whatnot. And apparently they just went ahead and did the same thing all over again. So there's something exclusive to iTunes, there's something exclusive to Target, and then Best Buy has special packaging, then Amazon's got special little extra things, so everything is all just all that type of stuff. It's what it is. So I figured I'd get the one that has the most content on it, and if I had the time last week, I probably would have potentially have done a Blu-ray review on it, but I ended up having to pick up extra hours at work, and that gave me very little time off to just enjoy the whole thing. I only got through maybe about half of the content on the disc. I didn't even finish watching the whole film yet on Blu-ray yet, but regardless of that, we'll move on. Because recently I picked this up last week of October, because I've been wanting to... I enjoy this movie quite a bit, and because Leviathan, let's not stand on principle here. I picked up the Leviathan Blu-ray finally. I think I've been waiting to get this for like a year and a half, because the price on Amazon just never really moved much beyond that $15 range, and I had gotten that Laserdisc months ago when I thought I was getting a Laserdisc player that was going to work. Ultimately, the ones I did get were faulty, they were malfunctioning, they were broken. So ultimately, I don't have a player to play it on, but I still have the disc. And it's like, I might do a review on Leviathan, depends on time and everything. Have to watch all the special features on here and everything, because I guess there's a pretty long documentary featurette on here and some interviews and whatnot, so I'll have to check that out and delve into that as much as I can. And it's just a fun film. It's really a fun film, and it's kind of interesting because I caught the last bit of The Abyss on Stars a week or so ago and looked glorious in HD. The HD restoration they did just for that looked absolutely fucking stellar. So if the Blu-ray that Cameron is saying is coming out next year looks as good as that, you guys are in for a treat. Trust me, it's going to look fabulous. And 2 titles here that I picked up, kind of one about a month apart here. More Scream Factory stuff, whatnot, is in September. First thing I picked up after my lull and trying to get some money together and everything was the Invasion of the Body Snatchers Collector's Edition, which I kind of I'd had the inkling to do a review of this thing for most of the year, and I just really kind of never got into the groove to really sit down and watch all the extras and do the review and everything. But I figure it's both a horror film and a science fiction film, so I could kind of throw it in either way. I didn't have to just focus it on doing it in October for a horror month. I could really do it at any time, but it is a fantastic film, and I'll tell you guys this right now. The first time I saw this film and got to that final scene of the movie, it freaked me out so much I could not watch the film for about another decade. Fabulous movie, so hopefully I'll get to that eventually. And something I was intending to do at the last bit of time here was the fact that I eventually did get the Exorcist 3 Collector's Edition Blu-ray. And a bit of an odyssey. I'll take you through as short as I can possibly could, because it was supposed to come out on Tuesday the 25th, I believe it was. And I wasn't sure if some Scream Factory titles do end up at certain retail stores. I've seen the Manhunter one over at Best Buy a time or two. A couple of titles show up at Best Buy sometime at FYE, and I have both of them very close by. And I went to both of them on the day, and neither one of them had them in the store. So eventually I did hunt down a deal online. This was actually a like-new used copy. So imagine someone bought it, pre-ordered it from Shout Factory's actual site to get it that 2 weeks early, like they tout. If you order directly from them, they send it to you 2 weeks early ahead of the regular street date. So I'm sure someone bought this, decided to sell it off, and I got this one off of DVDEmpire.com. And I was so glad to actually get this like Saturday the 29th instead of Halloween itself, that I was going to jump into this and make this the actual final video of Forever Horror Month until I put it into the Blu-ray reader and tried to launch my software and it wouldn't read the damn bonus disc. This happened with Escape from New York bonus disc as well when I did that review, because I was going to pull some footage from some of the featurettes on the bonus disc of Escape from New York. Ultimately, I just had to try to edit around that and leave some gaps in the edit in a certain way and not cut to anything else but myself and just leave that hanging there. But this was a lot more important because the bonus disc on this set has the brand new director's cut. And I couldn't honestly do a review of the new collector's edition if I didn't feature some kind of footage from some of these special features that they put together, including illustrating points about what the director's cut had to offer. So that killed me like Saturday the 29th at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I spent the next day trying to figure out something else to come up with for a final video, and it just really didn't manifest itself. I just ultimately realized there was just not enough time to do a proper review of something in depth. It just came up with too little time, and I was stressing myself off too much for it, so I just let it go. So at the end of the Alien review, I kind of allude to maybe there possibly being another video coming up that wouldn't disappoint. Sadly, that didn't happen because software limitations. I believe there is software out there that could possibly do what my software wasn't able to do, but software costs quite a bit of money, and I just couldn't expend that cost on just one disc. And obviously this has happened before with the Escape from New York one, so now I'm going to be very cautious about doing any reviews that require ripping anything from a Scream or Shout Factory release. Usually it's the bonus disc. The first disc, which features the main film, usually doesn't have this issue. But if I'm going to do anything that requires me getting some content from the bonus disc, I'm going to have to try it ahead of time before I even attempt to even sit down and put my stuff together to do a review, because until I can put aside the extra money or whatever the case to get more better software and upgraded software, I'll just have to be a bit more conscientious about that. But I think the Alien review, being 44 minutes long and being as much as I could get done, shooting it from like 2 to 3:30 in the morning, was a pretty good finale for the month. So it was kind of a nice thing. It was a bit of a month going a little bit, kind of winging it a little bit. Didn't intend to do Halloween 4, but someone had requested that I do like a franchise retrospective on Halloween, but I felt that was redundant since I already did the first film, the third film, and the sixth film. So I figured, okay, Halloween 4 is one I can do. Has enough stuff to talk about that I can enjoy, kind of give some praise. And still one of the franchise I still generally think is okay. So figured I'd jump into that. It was kind of an easy one to go for. And kind of moved on with the subspecies stuff, which I've been kind of promising for 2 years. So I just had to get it out of the way. And and then I went off and did. I always wanted to do Brimstone things since I got the unofficial DVD at a con like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. So that's done. And then Alien, because everyone's been asked me for so long to do an Alien franchise retrospective, I just had to do Alien. I was sitting down to try and watch something else and didn't quite work out. Then I popped in Alien and everything was right with the world. So, like I said, don't jump on me asking so quickly for Aliens and Alien 3 and so on. When I feel the time is right, I'll go ahead and tackle those films, because obviously there's a lot of stuff to get into with those. It takes a lot of delving into background information behind the scenes, a lot of stuff to get into, so want to make sure I'm ready for it and I don't do it haphazardly. Want to make sure it's the best thing I can produce for you guys at the time, so we'll get around to that when I feel right about it. So what I'm looking forward for in November, because one of the things with getting Leviathan was like, might do science fiction films. Nice kind of change of pace, do all the horror stuff, move over to a different genre in a little bit, but still have a little bit of connection. But there's like 3 titles I'm looking at. Not going to mention what they are until, because I don't want to promise something and then just kind of not end up delivering on it. But I've got a few sci-fi titles in mind that I hope we'll get to this month, and maybe even next month. It don't have to be just this month. Get to in the next several weeks. So I'll definitely be working on that once I get my time managed and everything. So probably at the end of the week, I'll be doing some, watching some stuff, producing some videos, and should have something out next week for you guys. But until then, like I said, this Wednesday, the Nightmare on Elm Street commentary will go live on YouTube. If you want to get it early, jump on it as soon as you can, and hit up Patreon and see what's going on there. And as always, there's going to be special updates about what I am thinking about doing, various other exclusive blog posts you can check out. If you contribute even $1 a month, you'll get something exclusive to watch and enjoy and just be engaged with a little bit. And I definitely appreciate anything you guys can contribute if you can, but not everyone can. So definitely just appreciate you guys being here, watching the content, the comments, the shares, the subscribes, everything. Love it, guys. The like buttons, of course, are always pleasing to see. So that's all I got for you guys at this time. I am trying to work on punching up the visuals of my videos. I was kind of looking at some stuff and feel like I can make some improvements here. There's some stuff I can do. I've been trying to get some better stuff going. I've got some brighter bulbs and everything for some of my lights to kind of give a little bit more weight. Try to switch out from maybe the floodlight, which creates a lot of heat in the room, makes me sweat, makes it harder to do things. So I'm trying to find a more happy medium to really produce good looking videos as best as I can for you guys. So looking into some things to give a little more of a punch, a little bit more flexibility in how I can do things. So a little of that time. So hopefully next time you'll see a little bit of more of a punch to everything and a little bit more higher production value, because I don't have as much room to work with as I used to. So kind of feel a little restricted in what I can do with the background. So I'm trying to do as much as I can to improve the presentation of everything. So hopefully you guys will appreciate that, and hopefully you'll hit just the right button for myself. As I don't want to make it too stylized, but I still want to have a good visual appeal to what I'm doing here. Because I look at some of the other people that I watch on YouTube, and I see a real good production value that I think I can strive for and achieve to some degree. So thanks guys for watching. Post your comments about any of these titles I picked up recently in the last several weeks or whatnot. So a whole bunch of different stuff, sci-fi and horror and all good stuff. So thanks guys for watching. I'll be back soon. So take care. Bye bye.